Just
What's about the show,
what?
dude? I mean, I got my best material before. I'm the warm-up. I'm the headline.
I need to get dressed.
I'm not Tom.
Ooh, welcome to Clickbait Sports. Show's over. Can we get it in under a minute?
Let's go.
Oh, no, we got to do a whole show. We had drafts this week. We're here with 5 points bids, urinating tree.
What's up?
Or should I say trending tree?
Trending.
Tom Grossi and one Scooter Magruder. How you guys doing? How's the crew? Tom's eating. He's doing a punishment. I did a punishment. Trees
zoom in on this punishment.
Waiting for a punishment.
Tom, what do you have on your plate, sir?
Well, listen. So there's two punishments that I'm overdue on, and now only one. One was that I needed to dress up in a chef hat and apron, as seen here. And I needed to cook some Italian food. Got some orzo, got some asparagus, and got some fake-ass chicken. Threw it in there. Pretty good. And I even got an Italian white wine. So I'm enjoying this punishment.
Yeah, how the hell is this a punishment?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You just have to.
Year, so.
I thought you were supposed to wear the apron only, no undershirt. I thought that was part of the.
I think that you're making it up right now just to see that. But
that was part of your fantasy.
He wants it for the spank bank. Don't buy it.
Tom has to eat dinner. Sick punishment, guys.
I know. Terrible. Yeah, I got to make a damn OnlyFans.
I want feet pics. That's all I got to say. And
no feet pics.
You definitely have to wear an apron only, and it has to say "kiss the cook."
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You get to pick the pictures. I am bitter because my punishment may cost me my marriage. So great work, guys. Break up my family.
We did it, guys.
Last night we watched the Taylor Swift Eras tour. Had the camera out. Got a lot of really good stuff. Turns out Jess had the setting on slow-mo the whole time, so there's no audio of anything I said during the whole performance.
I think that's just an excuse.
That means that you have to watch it again.
3.5 hours. Do you know how unentertaining it is to watch 3.5 hours of a musical performance where you know maybe 2 songs? And it's not like Swift is bad. It's not like the music is Antonio Brown, okay? Music's fine. But if you have no interest in that artist or that band for my favorite band is Led Zeppelin. I don't want to watch them for 3.5 freaking hours because that's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. I got her dress on.
Zeppelin would be pretty.
I don't know what we're gonna do. The video we're gonna have to work around. I might have to rewatch some of it and get some nuggets.
Wait, you have the dress on?
I've got the dress on.
Ooh,
I didn't even know it was a dress. I literally just
I thought it was a
shirt.
t-shirt. Wow. Whoa, hey. This is a family show, everyone.
But I will just keep wearing this dress every episode until I finish the second half of this godforsaken punishment.
Tom Grossi had to cook dinner, and Brandon Perna brought cake.
I couldn't watch my stories last night.
I have to ask everyone in the group, what is your favorite Taylor Swift song? You have to go around and say. Chat, also weigh in. What is your favorite Taylor Swift song? Brandon, start.
You Belong to Me.
That's you the high school
Did you just
one.
read it like off of Google?
No, I don't have it up.
How's it go?
You belong to me.
Nope.
I only know that song because I made fun of it. I did a parody video to it 12 years ago.
Okay.
Shake It Off.
Okay, Shake It Off.
We Didn't Start the Fire. Piano Man.
Songs about peeing. Okay.
Yellow Brick Road.
Actually said like "Don't Blame Me." I think is it's a solid song. It's a catchy song. I like that song.
Scooter, I know you have a favorite Taylor Swift song.
I'm gonna go with "Love Story."
Classic.
Story, that's not about. She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers.
Clickbait Sports.
I forget the words. Something time and
Tree, is that your song?
no,
Packers B.
I would probably go with "Are We Out of the Woods" or "We Are Never Ever 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 Getting Back Together." I would say.
I will say the stuff she does with Bon Iver too. Like I also like Bon Iver a lot. So
Here's you want my tinfoil
I'm
hat
gonna. Oh,
on Taylor Swift? The song Tree just said, "We are never, ever, ever getting back together." She performs that. Everybody's dressed in red during the song. Bright Kansas City Chiefs red.
there you go.
I think she's foreshadowing when she rips Travis Kelce's still beating heart out of his chest, holds it in front of his face so he can see it right before he dies.
that album's gonna be
Outrageous.
fire.
I have a question for you,
Oh,
Brandon.
I didn't get to say my favorite, but go ahead.
I want to say, what if she dumps Travis Kelce, but she dates Zach Wilson? What would you do?
Then I would wonder if Taylor Swift is a mom because just based off of
I mean, dude, those legs go for miles, baby. Eat that like corn.
talk about Zach Wilson.
No,
Yes.
Taylor Swift.
Zach Wilson's
I mean,
legs
he's
go
not
to
that
his
tall.
neck.
He's only 6'1". Yeah. My favorite Taylor Swift song is "Our Song." It's a good little tune. Back when she was young, when she was a country artist. That or 22, which is another good song.
I don't know about you.
But I would prefer "Our Song." It's very good.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs.
Yeah, she has
I
many.
knew 3 maybe. The other one, what's the other one? I knew You Were Trouble. I know that one.
When you walked in,
Trouble, trouble, trouble. That's how that one goes.
Treble. I knew you were bass.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, do we want to grade these drafts or we just want to stall some more?
Stall.
Stall.
I thought that was a conversation, but
Reflecting
sorry.
on 3.5 hours of my. You know what the worst part of that shit was? Sorry, Scooter. The concert goes for 3 hours,
Really?
and then credits roll, and I'm like, oh, thank God. There's 30 more minutes. There's an encore on the Disney Plus presentation. I thought that shit was over. Sorry again, Scooter. But then she comes out with her guitar and solo just plays some BS for 30 more minutes. I felt ripped off.
Dude,
That's
great.
like
It's a
that's
whole nother
like
Marvel movie.
sitting through your kid's awful t-ball game. Like, I know you love your kid, and then them being like, "Oh, we're gonna play like 4 more innings, like right after this one."
Oh, don't worry. They could mercy rule. Mercy rule.
And again, like the performance, everything she does is great. But if like you're not into it, I think we just make each other watch 3-hour concert series for bands we're not into, and everybody experience that, please.
I don't even think it like you said, like it could be a
Similar to
band you
Taylor
even like. For 3.5 hours of watching Led Zeppelin, you would get sick of that anyway.
I listen to it
I don't-
again. I see. I disagree. I could listen to 3.5 hours of a concert of a band that I really like and haven't heard them for a while. 100%.
Everyone should
100%.
state which
Much.
band that they don't want to see for 3.5 hours.
Antonio Brown.
I don't think I could take Evanescence for 3 hours. Like that is tough.
You don't want to be
Rap,
woken up in time?
Combined metal. Finally, someone came up with the idea. Great.
I mean,
I think I'd rather listen to Creed for that long, honestly.
Creed would be rough. Nickelback would also be rough.
Nickelback is just it's there.
Anyway. Are you all right, Scooter? What's going on? Do you have allergies?
Yeah, you are okay.
Bro,
This
something
man.
got in my eye. For
Finish
a
my plate and we'll get more
half
wine.
Second. What the
Oh,
heck?
Tom's drinking.
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean, it's just,
Italian wine with it.
I gave everyone a chance to host for 9 minutes and 35 seconds. I am taking over immediately, and we are talking about our draft grade. I know a lot of people think the Cowboys didn't have a great draft. I beg to differ. We're going to get into each and every team
Your mic
right
is-
now,
Yeah.
starting with the Giants. We're going in draft order. The New York Giants. Were you surprised, 5, that you did not take a quarterback?
I'm gonna draft Scooter a real microphone.
Yeah. That's,
Oh, can you guys not hear this?
there you go. Put it
No,
in. Put it all the way in.
We could hear it. It's just let's
there you
say
go.
not great.
What does it sound like?
Like
Well, actually, right now that it's right next to your face, it's not bad.
yeah.
Okay, I'll just keep it here.
Okay. It sounds like you're a CB operator. Like
Are you on a ham radio?
like you're or like you're in a helicopter right now. I love what the Giants did. I knew that they were going to take Neighbors when they didn't trade up. If they had jumped into the top 3 to get a Drake May or a McCarthy who ended up falling, they could have taken McCarthy, but I don't think that was their guy. They wanted one of those, top flight quarterbacks, and the just the kind of language that was coming out of the Meadowlands was, hey, we're going to stick with Daniel Jones. We owe the guy $40 million. You might as well just punt and get whoever is the next. Hey, what's up, JJ? Whoever the next quarterback is when Daniel Jones is done with his contract, get him some weapons so that he can come into a good situation. So we took Malik Neighbors. We got Tyler Nubin, arguably one of the best safeties in the draft, and not many safeties went. Actually, it was a run. There was a run on corners, and then the safeties started to fall. So we got some defensive back help. We got a cornerback, Theo Johnson. We also got a tight end to replace Waller, who might not come back. And then we got a running back. I don't know if he's like the replacement, whatever. And then a linebacker. So we've plugged a lot of holes. We did a lot in free agency. This roster is good to go. I don't think we're going to be good. I don't think we're going to win 8 games. But it's, Joe Shane has done the job. And I am happy. This is a building draft.
So,
No.
Do you feel confident?
It's bad, Scoot. It's bad. It's bad.
It's so bad.
It's like an Xbox
Yeah,
launch
yeah,
in
yeah.
2008.
You need a El
13-year-old.
Gato. Need a El
That's what it sounds
Gato. Yeah, I don't know.
You guys are terrible at hosting. I shall take over with my even worse microphone.
Just like the Dallas Cowboys all-in move.
Ooh.
Aw, that's a
The
throwback.
look of confusion.
I miss
Yeah,
it.
holy Xbox Live, my
Modern Warfare 2, Gears
That's
of
where
War
you-
2.
What about now? I think we're good.
better.
Are we good?
Better.
Nope.
It's okay.
A little bit.
garbage?
It's better. It's not as massive. was.
Many a young
It
pip
just
squeak.
sounds like this.
I
If you're
hope
going
Scooter's
for this, it
punishment
sounds
is
great.
to get a new mic.
Oh wait, what about now?
They're
What about
here
now?
with us
That's better. It's better. It's better.
Okay, I think I was
You're just
talking into
switching
the
out
wrong
headphones.
side.
Oh, turn again. Punished
Uh-oh.
with a no.
You can't punish me for not making a video.
There you go, Brandon. You did do the job.
You failed, man.
Literally, my worst performing video in the last 2 years is the one I did last year.
Mhm.
Sounds
Plus,
like
I got a different angle I'm doing.
The series
God's
is dead.
butt monkey.
Mhm.
Kitty goes meow, baby. Kitty goes meow.
Kitty Duck go meow.
I don't know why the algorithm doesn't work like that.
Appreciate you,
Like,
design.
Hey, Broncos
Like, oh,
country, let's ride.
Sorry. I didn't have Elway, Scooter Elway, so you got that instead.
Okay, does this work?
Different show. It's better.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep it. Like
look
this.
at the double headphones, by the way. That is
But back to
sexy.
5. So you're okay with going into this season potentially without a quarterback that is for your future?
Yeah, I mean, clearly Shane wants to win now. Clearly, we're kind of in that Steelers mode of let's try to win now. We don't rebuild, even though we've kind of been rebuilding for a while. But I would say that it was. I like the mentality. As a fan, you don't ever want your team to just lay down and draft JJ McCarthy in the first round. So,
Adam.
yes.
Did you hear Daniel Jeremiah today saying he thinks Drew Lock's gonna be starting this season?
I did see that. I don't buy that.
How would that make you feel if it was Drew Lock over Dan Jones?
You look at Dan Jones's record when he is the starter, he is effective in there. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, if you're a fan of the Giants like myself, he's frustrating to watch sometimes. But when he's out there, they win games. You think of the options that they've had before. Like, I don't think Drew Lock is going to supplant Daniel Jones.
Ooh.
Real quick, I know this is moving on to the Steelers, but yeah, so that's the thing that's making headwaves now because Warren came out and said that they might throw Justin Fields back there for some returns.
Honestly, you could still use him. He's got ability to run.
He's got the speed, but God, man, that is just depressing. Like that's.
I mean, that's the problem with Fields. Like he has flashes, but his throwing and quarterbacking is very inconsistent. And so they're going to try to use him. And I feel like his best attribute is his elusiveness and his ability to run. So, I mean, you know what? Hey, he's making like $15, $20 million a year. So
I think you kind of said something there where I think he can. I think he takes too much heat for how he throws the football. I think he's got a great arm. Maybe it's a little inconsistent, but yeah, it's his quarterbacking that's the problem.
Yeah,
it's quarterbacking.
It's just like he holds onto the ball for too long, and that was a complaint they had in Chicago. It's like get rid of the ball, get rid of the ball. Nope.
There's another name for that. Russell Wilsoning. That's what it's called. Sorry.
Hey, Russell Wilsoning's going to throw. They just got two of the same quarterback.
It's called Dan Jonesing.
This is how we go to the Super Bowl.
If Justin Fields returns one kick next year for the NFL, it will be the most viewed clip in NFL history.
And I will react to that, and it will be the greatest thing in the world.
Is there
like, this is how we go to the Super Bowl. This is taking one for the team. We will build statues for Justin Fields in Pittsburgh because he is overcoming his own ego and pride to do a powerful thing for the team. And if he returns for a touchdown, oh my Lord, I am bringing out my zero turn. I am decking that out in Yinzer apparel, and I am waving my terrible towel all across my neighborhood. Screw that.
Before we get into how the Steelers draft went, I will say one, Tyler Nubin, we got to interview him. You actually are getting a great player in Tyler Nubin, at least a great interviewer. And
Cooper DeJean, Scooter.
Yeah. We'll get to Cooper in a bit.
White boy summer, let's go.
We'll get to Cooper. But as far as I just want to get everyone's overall opinion on the draft, on how a defensive player was not selected for a very long time. What did you guys think about that?
Good for the Colts.
Yeah, great for the Colts. Great for the Vikings, too.
Yeah.
Well, the Vikings are just happy that the Falcons exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it... Because the first defensive player should have gone in the top 10 and should have gone at number 8, but...
Yeah, I mean, it should have been Dallas Turner or Laiatu Latu. But
I think it's just indicative of the NFL now, and how everyone is so offensive minded, and this class. Like, I think the way that things shake out a lot of times when it does come to a draft is just the talent available. Like, you had 6 quarterbacks go in the top 12. Next year, you might have 2 or 3. The 2 drafts prior were all busts. So it just happens to be when these players come out of their mama's VJs that they make it to the draft.
When Arch Manning comes into the NFL, people will be killing each other for him. That's all
rightfully so.
I mean, next year there's not much. It's Quinn Ewers, Shadur Sanders, maybe another guy or 2 emerges. But when Arch Manning comes into the NFL,
it should be very interesting.
I heard Lamb's still talking.
Shadur Sanders. He's going to be the first player who gets drafted and at the podium says, out of all the teams that could have drafted me, I really hate that it's these shitty ass Browns. I did not want to play here in Cleveland. This team sucks, but you guys are lucky I'm coming to save your franchise.
That's exactly what he's going to say.
And that is what Bo Nix should be doing for the Broncos here. Let's dissect this as well.
Who is Ion? What is Ion?
It's a type of car, isn't it?
It's Ion. I thought that was like a something in the atomic atmosphere. It's like something that rotates around.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
Yes, it's yes. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what the Broncos were doing when they drafted.
I'm 39 years old. I cannot keep up, and I'm not going to anymore.
That's not new. That's old. But let's talk about the Broncos draft pick. Bo Nix. I have some immediate reaction that I want to give to you, Brandon.
Yeah.
Perna.
Give it to me, Scooter.
He sucks. Bo Nix is garbage. At least that's what he was at Auburn. Okay, so at Auburn, Bo Nix was not good at all. I watched him, and I was at the game when he came to Florida, and we beat them. He was terrible. So I did a little bit of research because I didn't even realize Bo Nix should have gone in the first round based off how he played at Auburn.
Did you watch my video about him?
No. So I should probably watch that. But the other research that I did, basically everyone was saying at Auburn, he had a bad QB coach. The offensive line was garbage. He had no time to throw. Okay, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I still don't know if it's going to translate. What he did at Oregon is going to translate to the NFL. Brandon, what are your thoughts on this pick? Bo Nix, QB1 of the future.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I think it's true. I think it's weird. It's like the same way Spencer Rattler and how he was portrayed on QB1 Beyond the Lights, like how that stuck with him regardless of what he's done after that. I think the same thing kind of applies to Bo Nix. Yeah, he had 3 like not good years at Auburn. Goes to Oregon, gets a head coach that he jives with, runs an offense that is more suitable to his skill set, and he excels and thrives. Now his stats are a little inflated because Oregon just pummeled like inferior competition. Like they just destroyed them. But in the games against like equal talent, he still played pretty much the same. So I think like all of these guys, you talk about fit, and I think like there's no better fit for Sean Payton from this draft class than Bo Nix in terms of how Sean's going to try and ask him to play the position. He gets knocked for dumb things like arm strength, but I think people say that just because he threw a lot of short passes and passes behind the line of scrimmage because that's the offense he ran. I think they confuse that with he can make all the throws. So like any of them, like who knows? Like a lot of things got to go well. And I'm keeping my expectations for him even keeled, but the rest of the draft for the Broncos felt pretty good. And maybe it felt pretty good because they did absolutely nothing in free agency as they were just taking the hit for Wilson. And it was just like, oh, we finally got some players. I bet they're all awesome. But I don't know. We'll see. I like it. And I would have been mad if they didn't take him at 12. Let's put it that way.
I mean, there was no choice there because it was either him or you're going to the likes of Spencer Rattler and Keaton Slovis. And if you were stuck with Keaton Slovis, I was laughing hysterically. That dude sucked at pick.
Who's the guy with the absolute cannon from Tennessee? What was his name?
Joe Milton?
Joe
Milton. Yeah,
like
you could have ended up
one
with
big
the
throw.
rawest talent out there. I honestly just want to say, look, Scooter, you're right about Bo Nix as an Auburn fan. He was very frustrating to watch. He was very much, his dad, Patrick Nix, was an Auburn legend, and he was sort of forced into going to Auburn. Like he was picked, he was handpicked by the alumni. Like they lobbied hard for him. And then, they made a lot of special concessions for him to be there. And then when he went to Oregon, he kind of humbled himself and worked on his craft. I think, honestly, and this is going to be a scorching hot take, Bo Nix will probably have the best season out of all the rookie quarterbacks. He's coming into the best situation, if you ask me. He's got Sean Payton, and he's got really no expectations on him. So I think he'll do better than a lot of people think. And don't make that face down there, Tom. You saw him at the combine, and you said he was like the most athletic, one of the better looking quarterbacks at the combine. I thought you said that.
I said he threw the ball really hard.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
All I want.
And he'll be
the
throwing the ball
No,
hard.
I don't disagree with any. Like, that's fine. Bo Nix could do great. And listen, I want you to know how much this pain's coming from me. There's no shot on God's green earth that Bo Nix is going into a better situation than Caleb Williams right now. Caleb Williams, who has everybody to throw to. I mean, Eddie could also just throw the ball to Swift a million times. I don't know, man. I think
I'd say the Broncos line is better on offense.
100%. I would agree with that. Though I think
that would be like the one thing for a rookie you maybe be like, but I think Caleb can avoid and get out of pressure probably better than anybody in the draft class.
Currently today, the Bears offensive line woes, like that was more like 2 seasons ago. Last year they still weren't great, but they needed to kind of shore up the interior a little bit.
They were better. They needed a center. I think that was the big issue.
They needed a center. So I think Williams literally has been given, you have Keenan Allen for a year rental, right? Who can kind of coach up guys. He's a pro. I don't think that's going to go anywhere beyond a year, but you have that. You already have DJ Moore, who's incredibly good. And then you have Rome, who could be amazing. We'll see if a first-year wide receiver does well there. But,
yeah,
I mean, he's going into a pretty good situation.
Tom, it's the Bears.
Oh,
it
no,
is the
I
Bears.
know. I'm just saying situation-wise, I think he's going into a better one than Bo Nix was. Because I think there's a possibility that I know he was picked top 12. Like Caleb's starting day 1, right? There's no question whatsoever. Bo Nix, God help him. But if Stidham and/or Wilson looks better in camp, right, for the beginning because he's a rookie QB, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them started a game or two before Bo Nix went in. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Both going week 1.
The Bears will find a way to mess it up.
I hope so. I pray on it every day. I wake up and I go, please. And then I'm about my day.
Fields.
Do you guys know what I was praying for during this draft? I was praying that a certain player would fall to the Cowboys, and that certain player ended up being drafted by none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers on more than one occasion. Actually, so let's get into your pick, Tree. How are you feeling about rebuilding your O-line over there?
They needed to rebuild bad. Last couple years have been issues with offensive line. It's why I didn't like the Najee pick a couple years ago, because who was blocking for him? You had lost 3 major pieces to that offensive line. You tried to bring in a bunch of placeholders. You do have some pieces. James Daniels is pretty good. Sayumalo. You do have Roderick Jones. You're probably going to move him to left tackle. Fatanu, I was okay with him. I'm more of a Jackson Powers Johnson guy, but I completely understood why they picked Fatanu there, because he played left tackle, but Penix was a lefty, so he'll probably move to right tackle because he wasn't really a blindside. I think the thing there too is you invest 3 out of your 5 picks are offensive linemen, because you have a depth guard in the 4th round. You brought in Zach Frazier out of West Virginia, who former wrestler, short hands. He'll be a day 1 starter more than likely. Roman Wilson in the 3rd round. You do need a veteran wide receiver there, so you probably Tyler Boyd wouldn't be a bad one. I did want to ask you, Brandon, Courtland Sutton. Do you think you would take maybe a 3rd or a 4th round pick for him? Because it's either him or DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I would be infuriated if the Broncos moved Courtland Sutton. Because I think he's going to be the most important receiver for Bo Nix this season. Prior to the draft, thinking we might need to trade Sutton to get up to a spot to get a quarterback, that's where I would have been okay with it. But I was talking about this with Will. I think on a per catch basis last season, if you could weight that and make a stat for it, I would say Courtland Sutton's catches were more important to the Broncos than any other receiver in the league, because anytime Russ needed to play in the clutch moments, from touchdowns to just converting, moving the chains, Sutton was there.
And he was chucking it deep to him pretty much every time. Most of those big plays was Courtland Sutton.
If we sent him to the Steelers for a 3rd, in my opinion, that would just be a steal for you guys. And you should take him. You guys you should take him over DK, because, and I know Russ played with both of those receivers, but
DK is pretty good in the clutch though, because I know in 4th quarter they relied a lot on DK Metcalf over there last year.
In the quagmire that Russ was in, all the hell, all the BS, the one true friend that emerged with Russell Wilson is Courtland Sutton.
So we'll see if they do send him for a 3rd rounder. I was actually shocked at your value where you guys took Peyton Wilson in the 3rd round. I think that was a phenomenal pick.
I think that's a solid pick. I know they need inside linebacker help. I was thinking around the 3rd round. I thought it'd be like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. But the thing too, the reason why he fell is because he doesn't have an ACL. But here's
I know he played
the comforting part. Do you know who also didn't have an ACL? Hines
John
Ward.
Elway.
John Elway. Hines
John
Ward
Elway,
didn't have
too.
one either?
No, I don't think Hines Ward didn't have one. He
Phillip
said it on
Rivers.
Twitter.
Dang.
And he had a very long and fruitful career. So
That's
if
crazy
Peyton
for a
Wilson, like he
receiver.
had great production for like a Peyton Wilson. So I think honestly, I really like what Omar Khan's been doing. Like he's been aggressive when he needs to. He's been restrained when he needs to. He hasn't really tried to make splash moves because the problem with Kevin Colbert, and we were talking about this in the green room, he really screwed the Steelers over the last like 2021 and 2022 draft. He was trying to make like a big statement, and unfortunately, a lot of the moves have blown up in their face. Like your third and fourth round, like offensive linemen are duds. They're backups or they're gone. Najee had his fifth round option declined, which is he finally has an offensive line, and now he's probably gone. And you have a Kenny Pickett who, well, less said the more, and now I'm just sad that he's gone because the Pitt part inside me is biased, and I will never, ever admit that Kenny Pickett was not a good quarterback. I will die on that hill. I'm sorry.
Well, give us a overall ranking of your draft, how you think your team did. Tree and then Brandon.
Hold
before we
on.
move
Hold on a second. Okay, because I just looked this up for Hines Ward. This is crazy. When Hines Ward came out of college, it was discovered that Ward was missing an anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, in his left knee, which he lost during a bicycle accident during childhood.
Oh, shit.
Ward broke his kneecap in the 4th grade, and the doctors never accounted for the ligament. Holy crap! That's crazy.
He played all football without an ACL.
It's like old doctors. Like, here's some cocaine. You're fine.
Yeah. And they have secondhand smoke. They're smoking a cigarette and be like, yeah, here's this injection. Congratulations, you have tetanus now. So,
Doctors used to think that sugar was good for you. Like, here,
That is
eat
wild.
Definitely
this
doing a
sugar.
video
oh, you have a
about-
behavioral problem here. Let's take this little nozzle and put it.
That is
Mhm.
crazy. But
All
Tree, let's get that ranking. What are you giving the Steelers?
I give it a solid B. I mean, I need to see them on the field first, but I like their draft.
All right, and
we needed
Perna?
to go all line heavy, and they did.
Perna, what are you giving the Broncos?
B plus.
B plus. All right, let's move on to the Packers, who were picking at number 25. And when they were picking, one Cooper DeJean was on the board. I thought they were going to select him. They did not. They went in a different direction. Tom, tell us what direction that was.
Yeah, so they go Jordan Morgan, which wouldn't have been the offensive lineman that I would have drafted, but there's a reason why I'm not the GM of the Green Bay Packers. I really like Graham Barton, who went literally the pick after to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions did trade in front of us to get Arnold, who is a corner that I really, really liked. But everything that kind of came out after Morgan got drafted about he was one of the 2 starters that was like, oh man, like you throw him in right now. He's good. He's played all over the offensive line. He's a super versatile pick. And that just makes a ton of sense because is that for me?
Yes.
Oh, no. Is
Get
that-
him!
This is a close
Terry!
one.
No!
Get him!
I am so happy. Yes.
Get him one pride, Terry. Get him.
Terry, come on, man.
Can we get
Dude,
2
that's
pride,
great.
Terry? 2 pride, Terry, coming up there.
And that's
but
great.
I did say that the Packers would draft no lineman in the first. They did. I said they'd get Cooper. Got that right. Got Javon Bullard. I am so happy they got Bullard. Probably one of my favorite draft picks. They go running back. They invested in offensive line, in safety. So it basically was like a draft where they got pretty much every position that they needed, other than maybe corner, but will depend what happens with Eric Stokes. But yeah, no, I'm super duper happy with this draft because they got everything that they potentially needed. They got the inside linebackers that they needed. They got the safeties they needed, and they got the O-line depth. So
I'm more upset with the Packers for not selecting Cooper DeJean because now he is on the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to have to deal with Cooper DeJean, that nickname, for eternity. So
Yeah. I thought the Eagles did really well. I know that we don't have an Eagles representative here, but like I keep getting annoyed by how well they do. Probably how Brandon gets annoyed with the Chiefs always kind of getting what they need.
the thing is,
Roseman and
Eagles-
Beach are problems. Whoa.
We
The
said
thing
that
is-
last year, though.
Oh, there you
Oh.
go. 5.
Exactly.
Let's go, baby.
exactly what Brandon just said. We thought that the Eagles had a great draft last season, and then when you look back and you actually look at how their players played during the season, it wouldn't have appeared that way in the postseason, that they had a tremendous draft. I'm hoping and praying that the same thing is true, because on paper, the Eagles do look like they stole a lot of prime players, especially able to get Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean like they were able to.
Right, and they elevated. They have a center, right? So they're filling the gap from Kelsey being gone. It's just continually annoying. But I hope that they end next year the way that they did this year, which was the wheels coming off. Like, yeah.
Can I ask a question about the Eagles?
Yes.
So after this draft, because it happened a lot last year too, and Scooter brought up the point of like, oh, like Jalen Carter obviously like did well, like he had a really nice regular season. Nolan Smith, I think he's banged up if I'm not mistaken. But there was stuff that came out after this draft that the reason why the Eagles get so much praise is because they basically just pick names that like the media praises. And so because of that, they get really good draft grades every single year because they're picking people that everyone like is aware of. So I'm curious on your thoughts on that. Because again, at the end of the day, none of this means anything, right? Like we're going to have a 7th rounder who's going to be amazing, like is going to be a starter. We're going to have a 5th rounder guy who came out of nowhere and was on nobody's board that is going to have a breakout season. Or we're going to have a 1st round guy who's going to be a bust. But like, do you think that there's some truth to that it's just the familiar names that they're picking and that's why they're getting good draft grades, because draft grades in themselves are a joke?
I don't think they're intentionally picking players that everyone knows. I just think for whatever reason, it's happened in a line to where they have selected players that have been fan favorites, like a Jeremiah Trotter Jr. just so happens to fall in their lap. So he's a decent linebacker, and there's that family history and allure. So it's just like things like that, I feel like have happened more often than not, rather than them just targeting well-known players. What do you think, Five?
Yeah, I think that's the effect, not the cause. There's no way that someone like Howie Roseman is just like, oh, that guy's got a cool name, I know that guy. I think they probably have a good process where they pick these players. I mean, nobody thought Jalen Hurts would be as good as he is, and he's good.
And I'm not saying like that they draft poorly. I'm just saying it seems like the past couple years it's been a theme where they are getting guys that it's like, oh, like we know who they are.
Yeah.
I just chalk it up to coincidence more than intent. Coincidence more than
I like the
intent.
theory though.
They
Because F the Eagles.
like last year's draft, and Jalen Carter was good, and he was really good early, right? But just I think by nature of the position of defensive line, like that's a position that takes a couple years before a guy really comes into his own. Even somebody as good as Carter. The draft before, is that when they took Nakobe Dean?
Yeah.
Coming off an injury. Keely Ringo fell to the 4th, so that was like a value pick for them. So I think some of those players, like everybody's excited about, they just take a little bit longer to develop. And then I just think the Eagles, more than anything last year, just felt the loss of, Shane Steichen on offense. And did they switch defensive coordinators last year too?
Twice, yeah. They put in Matt Patricia, and then they removed him.
Like their defense will be better just because Fangio's there this year. So I think like maybe last year's draft was better long term, but they're going to look better this year because they've got better people coaching their offense and defensive units.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Yeah, neither do I. I am
like the same way like the Cowboys didn't need to do much this offseason because they were a good team. It's just like it always goes bad for them in the playoffs. But the fact that it feels like they've done nothing until the draft, like that's why, everybody's dunking on the Cowboys. And because Jerry Jones said one thing and everybody was waiting for a big move to happen and it never did. And we're going to hold them accountable for saying all in until next postseason. And if they don't win in the postseason, it's just the people are just going to recycle that phrase over and over again.
Zeke is back though.
Those people you are speaking of are me. I am the people you are speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's all of us. We all do it.
The Dallas Cowboys moved back from their pick in the first round. We could have selected Cooper DeJean. We could have selected Graham Barton, but we chose to move back. And I actually am happy with the fact that we did choose to move back because we were able to get a third round pick who turned into Cooper Beebe, who will presumably be our starting center. We strengthened our O-line with our first overall pick and Tyler Guyton. This is a guy who we actually got to interview as well with YouTube and the NFL at the NFL Combine. This guy's huge. Out of all the NFL players I've ever interviewed, been around, stood next to, Tyler Guyton is the biggest. And it's not even close. This is with me standing next to
That
Derek.
guy weighs a ton, huh?
He's 6'8", 332. So he's built. He is built. And I do think that this is exactly what the Cowboys needed. The scouting report on him is that he's very raw. I don't care, though. The Cowboys, if you look at our history of drafting O-linemen, we do not miss in the first round. Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, literally in a Hall of Fame. Yes.
All that stuff's good. I agree. I don't even mind the Cowboys moving back, even though it's fun to make fun of. Building the O-line, smart. Very smart thing to do. How'd you feel, though, when they didn't take a running back, like, say, Blake Corum, who was sitting there for him, and then sign Zeke? Ah!
The thing is,
There is no God but monkey.
Where I'm at right now
There's
with the
a God.
Cowboys is that
Football God.
we are waiting for another veteran running back. That's where I'm at right now. We're just going to wait till camp comes and a guy like a Dalvin Cook, who was available for a large part of the season last year. Someone's going to come out of this. Am I upset we didn't get a running back? Maybe. Yes. But we still have Rico Dowdle, who I think will perform amazingly behind this line. We still really don't even know what we have in a Deuce Vaughn. Malik Davis is on the practice squad, and you have Zeke in there as the veteran presence. So even if we were to start the season tomorrow, I think we'd be well positioned. But I do think there will be another signing coming for that position.
Yeah, but running backs, the younger, the better, right? Like the more you can get them with less miles on those legs.
I disagree.
Better.
I disagree because I'm seeing a
lot
lot
of 32-year-old running backs.
I'm seeing. Well, what I'm saying is there's a shift that I believe is coming to the NFL, and that shift is running back by committee. As Tom, we're gonna have to make him. We're gonna have to make Tom do something elite.
Wow, Tom is gonna have to wait.
Pie. That's a good pie too. That's a good pie too. French silk pie.
I never felt good to have French silk pie in my life.
Japanese idols. What's that? Is that his not least favorite?
I don't even know what that is.
That means yes in Japanese.
Maybe he has to watch a 3-hour BTS concert or something.
I've been watching so many Japanese shows.
Really?
I'm basically fluent in listening.
Shogun.
But to
Shogun,
just wrap up
Tokyo
real quick.
Vice.
Oh yes. Do
Oh,
we
yeah,
want to do the countdown?
I'm just wrapping up the Cowboys
Oh.
We're not
draft.
doing a
Okay.
countdown. No, we got a lot of show left.
The
We
Cowboys
got a lot of
draft.
show.
Oh wow.
Come on, man.
The red screens are coming out.
Yes, Navasa.
I mean, you probably have people in a private chat. You're just deploying them on Tom. I know this goes.
It's crucial.
All right, sum up.
Williams will be solid.
Sum up the Cowboys draft. We
Yeah,
also
give him a
got
grade.
Marshawn Nealon at defensive end. If you look at his, I don't know what it's called, athleticism, like they rank all the players, he was the highest defensive end athletically, even over a Chop Robinson, and we were able to get great value in the second round with him. Probably going to be a DeMarcus Lawrence replacement long term. We got guys like Maris Luafu out of Notre Dame, linebacker, blitz happy. I'm excited to see what he can do. And I give the overall draft an A just because I trust my guy back then. Not Jerry Jones, but the player personnel.
Who? Give me one guy not named Jerry Jones.
It's blanking on me right now, but it's the black guy. The black guy who over everything.
I will say this: the Cowboys
Will
tend to
McClay.
draft. Yes.
Will McClay.
The Cowboys tend to draft well, and this hurts as a Giants fan. Like their last couple, 5 or 6 draft classes have been effective. So I'm not. That is the one thing that you will not hear me slander. I don't think Jerry Jones makes or evaluates the picks. He rubber stamps everything, but he's done a good job in getting out of his people's way and letting them pick the right people.
Jerry puts the rubber on it.
Will McClay is a beast.
It won't be some glory hole.
The problem is last year we missed on a lot of picks. A lot of guys got in. What can you do?
Yeah, well, they're probably talented. They just weren't out there.
Before we go to the countdown, let's do biggest surprise of the NFL draft, not named the Atlanta Falcons at 8. Other than the Falcons at 8, what was the biggest surprise in this draft?
I would probably say Joe Alt to the Chargers. I thought they'd go Brock Bowers or Malik Neighbors.
I did not think all 6 of the quarterback prospects would go in the first round. I was very shocked. I thought Bo Nix was a second-round pick. I thought that Penix would. Yeah, I thought Penix would have gone later, and I was just surprised that it went 6 and 12. So that was surprising.
My biggest surprise for me, and let me know what you guys think about this as well, was the Bills trading with the Chiefs, who then select Xavier Worthy. What do you guys think about that? Trading with a rival. Would you do it so that they could go up and get their guy, even though it might handicap them a little bit? What are your thoughts?
It's always just business. They don't care.
In the moment, it was very painful. But I think ultimately, like, Buffalo had a really nice draft. They still got a receiver that they liked, and they added capital. And we'll see. I mean, knowing that there's a good chance Rashee Rice is suspended half the year, Worthy's going to have to jump into the role maybe a little bit earlier than they wanted. So I think we'll know right away, how good he's going to be with the Chiefs. And we just assume he's going to be good with the Chiefs because it's the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. But was he I feel like I didn't know much about him until he ran the Fast 40. He wasn't a guy I was like, everybody's talking about is this dude as a receiver is going to be a problem. They're like, oh my God, he is insanely fast. And now he's on the Chiefs. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
I think the biggest surprise was the 49ers drafting a wide receiver, besides Penix, obviously, drafting a wide receiver and then not trading one of the wide receivers that was rumored to be traded. Because if they were, I thought okay, so they drafted this guy. Still a little weird, but
of course they got to go get
they got Ricky,
Florida
baby.
Gator.
Yeah.
My gosh. He had a great combine. He really did.
This is what the Gators do at the game, Scooter?
That's exactly what we do.
They play that song, dun, 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 and then they go Gators. It's very fun. If you ever go down there, it's very fun to pretend to be a Gator.
It's very fun. It's only Gators get out alive. Any other biggest shocks of the draft? Anyone else need to go?
Tree, did you have a shocker?
I did. I was Joe Alt, but I'll do another one too. I would say another big shock was probably Brock Bowers to the Raiders. They're rolling with the 2 tight end system, and honestly, kind of like it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
it was a shocker.
It's time to head to the countdown.
I'm happy.
Get the picks in. Get your money.
Get your money in now.
I don't wanna.
Get bodied. Bodied.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. Why do you donate to me? I implore you not to. Brandon was gonna get punished. I was down to 1. But now I got 2 instead of next to none. So sad. What am I doing?
Oh, I know it.
He knows it. He knows it. Okay, I got 117, so I'm out.
Tom's got to find the
you gotta read them all out first. You gotta read them
we
all
already
out
know it's
you. Never know.
We know it's you.
Girl, we
can
know
count.
it's you.
I'm at 315. 17.
There you go.
317.
Okay.
Tom.
I'm at 848.77.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't even need to name the other ones.
Baby.
I think you need to open up an OnlyFans, Tom.
Oh, there's a Honda.
Oh,
There you
Oh,
go.
there's a hundo late. Mm-hmm. Who got that hundo? Oh, it's Tom.
I
It's
did.
Mr.
Nope,
that
it was
clinched
me.
it.
Pussy.
It
That
was
clinched
me.
it. Mm-hmm.
It was.
What's the punishment, Brandon? You got it.
Has to find, purchase, and wear the Caleb Williams dress.
Is
And
this a thing?
he has to paint his nails like Caleb Williams had.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole episode, he has got to be pro Bears. Pro
Wow.
Chicago Bears.
Wow.
Dabbers.
Listen, I
Up
say
there.
he does all of that while he also puts out a diss record to the Chicago Bears.
No. I'm doing what?
I mean, dude,
Hold
you
on.
made.
Nah,
made a
just make
lot
him
of
wear
dough
the
today.
dress. Just
The
go
dress-
get a what color is that even? Salmon? Go get a salmon dress on Amazon.com.
No,
And
I
make
want
it
this.
sexy.
This is a designer. This
I'm-
shit's expensive.
I'm trying to
That's
find
like a
it.
$10,000 dress.
Okay.
Yes.
There's
He
no
just made
way.
800.
There's no way. Get something that looks
We
similar,
will find it.
and then yes, grow a beard.
It has to
And
have a
look like
zipper.
Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Mhm.
While,
Get a knockoff. Get the
while
wish
Tom
version of that.
searches for how much a dress like that may or may not cost, what do you guys have coming out this week?
I have a video on the worst sports takes of all time. The worst, most
Ooh.
freezing cold takes ever unleashed.
I better not be in that.
Crazy.
Skip
Video.
Bayless and Scooter will be starring in it.
Better not be in that video. Tree, what do you have coming out?
Well, I just released Hater's Guide to the NFL Draft, and I'm looking
I'm
to do-
trending.
Yes.
Yeah, surprising. I didn't think I did that well on that, but I mean, my issue is like I call it a hater's guide, yet there's not as much hate as there used to be. I'm going soft, and I'm not a fan of that. I need to up my game. I need more hate. But I will say, I mean, NHL debriefing's coming out next week too. Maybe a few congratulations videos. This weekend is going to be a little weird. I'm going to Myrtle Beach for a wedding, so I'm going to be out of commission and probably drinking.
Nice.
Because
Well,
it's open bar.
Have fun
Go
in
ahead.
Myrtle Beach. 5. Oh wait, did you? No,
No, I
5
already
already
said,
closed.
yeah,
Perna?
I did a Spencer Rattler video today. Why he fell in the draft. Yeah, that's it. You can watch that one. I don't know what's happening after that.
And then also be sure to watch his Bo Nix video as well, already out. Tom,
I
what do
can't
you got
find
coming
this dress.
That's part of
GPS Friday Night Q&A, probably video tomorrow. I don't know.
I don't even think it's a dress. Technically a dress. I think it's
This
called
is the
something
burlap
else.
sack. Mm-hmm.
Well, the Orlando Magic are playing tonight. If we
Okay.
win, expect a dance video of some sorts. If we lose, expect Orlando Magic after the season coming out tomorrow. Which I hope
How
I
was,
do not
was
have
that? You look like you were having a lot of fun at the game, by the way. It looks
Yes,
like,
so
yeah.
I went to both Magic games thus far in Orlando. The first, the team brought me out, so Orlando Magic invited me, and then the NBA brought me out to the second one to do some things with like the app that they have. It was dope though because the second time I got to shoot the t-shirt cannon.
Yes.
I'm sorry, the Magic play tomorrow. What I thought,
Oh, never mind.
not Friday, but yes.
That looked fun. All right, are
It was-
we out?
We done?
Are we?
Tom?
Are we
clear?
done here?
Dress.
Are we finished? Are
Tom,
we
your
done?
thoughts?
Time to
Tom,
wear
on
that
this
dress,
dress?
baby. Honestly, you're going to look good in that dress,
I
baby.
know I will. I'm gonna crush
Mhm.
that.
Oh, you will
Yep.